I never thought I'd become a Muslim. Honestly, I never even thought about Islam at all. Growing up in South Korea, Islam wasn't even on my radar. It just didn't exist in our world. My family's Catholic. My parents gave me the name David, and we went to church like everyone else. But if I'm being completely honest with you, I didn't really believe anything. I went to church because that's what you do. They gave us presents and food, and as a kid, that was enough for me. I was happy with my family and my friends. I never had a reason to think deeply about any of it. And then 9/11 happened. That's when I first heard the word Islam. It was everywhere on Korean news. Explosions, fear, terrorists. So in my young mind, Islam became something dangerous, something to be afraid of. That image stayed with me for years. But life has a funny way of breaking down the walls we build. I was studying music in university. Jazz, piano, guitar, singing. That was my world. I wanted to be a musician more than anything. And through some connections with musician friends, I got an opportunity to perform at a small concert in Jakarta, Indonesia. That trip changed everything. Walking through the streets of Jakarta, I saw something I'd never seen before. Women wearing scarves, men with beards, people stopping whatever they were doing to pray. They looked so different. I was curious, so I started asking questions. What is that? Why do you do that? And they answered me. They told me about their beliefs, about Islam. But more than their words, it was how they treated me. These strangers, they were the kindest people I'd ever met. Can I help you? I want to give you something. Please take this present. Always smiling, always calm, always offering. I came back to Korea completely confused. The Islam I'd seen on TV was dangerous and scary. The Muslims I met in Indonesia were gentle and generous. Which one was real? I didn't have time to figure it out right away. Life got hard, really hard. My family was struggling financially. My music career wasn't stable, and I had to find a regular job to help support everyone. But working at a company felt like dying inside. I wanted to create, to make something meaningful, music, videos, anything. That's when I started my YouTube channel, just uploading cover songs, trying to keep my creative spark alive. And then, out of nowhere, I found myself thinking about Indonesia again, about those kind people, about how different they were from everything I'd been taught. So I made a video. I just talked about my experience, how I'd always thought Islam was dangerous. But then I met Muslims who were so kind and peaceful. I shared my honest feelings, not knowing if anyone would even care. The response shocked me. People were interested. Muslims started reaching out, offering to teach me. If you want to learn about Islam, talk to this imam. Here's where you can find the mosque in Korea. You should try fasting during Ramadan just to see what it's like. And I did. I don't know why exactly. I just felt pulled toward it. I started visiting the mosque. I prayed with the Muslims there. I fasted during Ramadan, and something started happening inside me. You have to understand, Korea is brutal. You've seen Squid Game, right? That's not exaggerated. That's exactly what it feels like. There's only one winner, and everyone else is a loser. I was depressed, constantly stressed, constantly feeling like I was failing, like my life had no purpose. School taught me math and science, but nobody ever told me why I was here, who I really was, where I was going after all of this. When I prayed with those Muslims, I felt something I'd never felt before, like someone was watching me, like someone was helping me, like someone was giving me hope when I had none. During that first Ramadan, even though I wasn't Muslim yet, I started to feel gratitude, real gratitude, for food, for water, for my family, for the earth beneath my feet. For the first time in my life, I felt like I understood why I was here. I started believing in God, not the distant God I'd learned about in church as a kid, but a God who was with me, guiding me, giving my life meaning. But I still didn't become Muslim. I was scared. I'm Korean. My whole life, my whole culture, everything I knew was so different from Islam. How could I possibly live as a Muslim in Korea? Then a Korean Muslim named Karam messaged me. He'd studied in Medina. He really knew his stuff. I met with him and poured out all my doubts. Karam, I believe in God, but I don't know if I can really be Muslim. I'm not perfect. I make so many mistakes. And he looked at me and said something I'll never forget. Nobody is perfect. Nobody. If you wait until you're perfect to become Muslim, you'll wait forever. But if you take the Shahada now, you can change slowly, step by step. And Allah will help you every step of the way. He is merciful. He is forgiving. He is the greatest. He will help you become who you're meant to be. Then he said, you could die today. Heart attack, car accident. None of us knows when our time will come. And something just clicked. I went to the mosque in Itaewon. The most knowledgeable imam in Korea was there that day, along with several other imams, all meeting together. It felt like destiny. I took my Shahada right there. When I said those words when I became Muslim, it was like every sin, every mistake, every burden from my past just fell away. I felt new, like a newborn baby. The imams surrounded me, congratulating me, welcoming me. I can't even describe the happiness I felt. It was like coming home to a place I'd never been. But I couldn't hide it. I'm a YouTuber. My whole life is public, and my family watches my videos. When I told my mom, she was devastated, shocked. She looked at me and asked, "Are you going to become a terrorist now?" I understood. I really did. She'd only ever seen what the Western media showed, the violence, the fear, the negative images. She was terrified for me, so I tried my best to explain. "Mom, Islam isn't dangerous. This is my belief, but I still love you. Nothing has changed except my relationship with God." And then something beautiful happened. She started watching my videos. She saw all these kind Muslims reaching out to me, helping me, explaining things. Slowly, she started to understand. She's not Muslim, please make dua for her. But now, she respects my choice. She supports me. She's learned so much about Islam just from watching my content. My aunt still messages me sometimes. "Can't you just change your religion again?" But even she supports me. My whole family does now. Becoming Muslim in Korea hasn't been easy though. Some of my friends rejected me completely. They just couldn't understand why I'd choose this. I even had trouble with my child's kindergarten because of my religion. People judge me constantly. "You're Muslim. Why are you doing that? That's haram, that's haram, that's haram." And look, I know I'm not perfect. I make mistakes every day. I'm still learning, still growing. But I also know that Allah sees my effort. He sees that I'm trying. The biggest challenge? Being misunderstood by everyone. Both non-Muslims who fear Islam and Muslims who expect perfection. But I've learned something important. This is a journey. I'm only a few years into Islam. I have my whole life to grow closer to Allah. Some people ask me, "Aren't you afraid of going to jail?" I laugh. This is South Korea, not North Korea. We have freedom of religion here. I can say what I believe. When there were protests against building a mosque in Paju, I went there to support the Muslim community. I stood with them. Could it cause problems for me? Maybe. But I don't care. In Korea, we have the right to believe what we want. The funny thing is, even after becoming Muslim, I still accidentally ate pork. In Korea, everything is pork-based. I'll go to a restaurant and ask, "Is there pork in this?" They'll say, "No pork." So I eat it. But something feels off. I ask again, "Is the soup pork-based?" And they'll say, "Oh yes, the soup is pork-based, but there's no actual pork in it." They just don't understand what halal means. It's an education process. But you know what the most amazing thing is? Through my YouTube videos, some of my subscribers have become Muslim. Koreans who watched my journey, who saw me find peace, reached out and said, "I want to learn more. I want to become Muslim." I connect them with imams, with mosques. Alhamdulillah. That feeling, knowing that Allah used my story to guide someone else, there's nothing like it. People ask me what impressed me most about Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. And for me, it's this. He started alone. Just one person with a message from God. Everyone around him rejected it. Nobody believed. And yet he never gave up. He spread Islam across the world, starting from absolutely nothing. Now look, Indonesia, Malaysia, West Africa, even South Korea. I'm here because of him. Islam is the fastest growing religion in the world because of what he started. When I feel alone as a Muslim in Korea, I think about him. If he could do what he did, I can keep going. Someone once asked me, "What's the biggest lie in the world?" I didn't even have to think. The biggest lie is, you can't do it. In Korea, we hear that constantly. You're not successful enough, not good enough, not worthy enough. People tell you, you're a loser, you're failing, you'll never make it. But that's a lie. With belief, real belief in God, in His plan, in His help, you can do anything. Maybe you won't reach every goal, but you'll try. And trying with faith is everything. And the biggest truth, it's the same thing. You can do it. Because I believe in the mercy of Allah. I believe in His help. I believe in His plan for me. And that belief makes everything possible. My dream? Before I die, I want to be a good person, a good Muslim. I want to learn more, practice more, grow more. And I want to help other Koreans find what I found. Korea is full of anger and depression. The suicide rate is the highest in the world. And I think the biggest reason is that people don't have belief. When something good happens, they think I did this and become arrogant. When something bad happens, they blame themselves, fall into depression, and see no way out. But when you believe in God, good things come from Him, so you feel grateful. Bad things are tests from Him, so you have strength to overcome them. That's what I want to share. That's my mission now. Someone asked me once, if you were in Squid Game and had to lie or deceive someone to survive, what would you do? I thought about it and I decided I won't answer that question because I don't want to lie. Even in a hypothetical game, even to save myself, I don't want to go there. Maybe that's what Islam has given me most of all. Not just answers, but a reason to be honest, a reason to keep going, a reason to hope. I'm still on this journey, still making mistakes, still learning every day, but I'm not lost anymore. I know why I'm here. I know where I'm going, and I know who's guiding me there. That's my story. From a Catholic kid in Korea who never thought about God, to a musician who found peace in a Jakarta mosque, to a YouTuber watching his subscribers become Muslim. It's not a perfect story,